Hope everything's going well. Everything's going copacetic. Looks like we got the live going. Some things are tweaking out of control. We got to get that bit rate all fixed. I don't know how to do that quite yet, but it's all right. We're going to get there when we get there. Listen, some things take a little bit of time. We're checking on YouTube. Get YouTube going. We got, oh my gosh, that's the wrong link. Why is it going to that? It's horrible. It's horrible. We got to get that bit rate all dialed in. We don't know how to do that quite yet. Resolution's on 4 seconds. Hopefully everything's doing good today. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Everyone's being all copacetic. We are here. Listen, I just want to keep the vibes going for a cool second. All these little yachty type beats, you know, the yachty type beats. The little yachty type beats are really they're like the new yachty, not old yachty. You know, like old yachty beats, it was a lot. But new yachty is like, let's get this one going. Let's see what's going on over here with Young. Got some smooth jazz going on for you. It's classy, but yes, so ratchet. We are here for you today. We streaming on 3 platforms because all the budget cuts for. We're not doing Twitch no more. I didn't see the purpose of $10 for less than 10 people. I just couldn't do that. Like $10 a month for people who ain't even checking. You know, that's wild. Absolutely wild. Let me see. Let me check on all platforms. Let me see. Why isn't that one turned on? Let's see. Let me see. If I were to turn this one off real quick, I just want to just see some. 2 or 2 active, get more. There it is. Let me see. I don't know. I'm gonna turn off Facebook real quick. I'm gonna turn this one on. Because if it's up to me, as you can see, cutting beats on MP3s, and that's on me. Hey. Save. Here we go. Why is that not? Let me see. Go live. Whatever. You know, fuck it. We'll deal with that later. We will deal with that later. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I hit this right here, cover this in right here, niggas see everybody here. Everybody here, and Zaire. His name's Zaire. Keep the beat on going, keep we flowing, and you know it. Hey, just want to do a little sound check. That's it. For some reason, my Instagram doesn't work. Go figure. Never does. Never have. Never will. Keep the beats flowing. Literally. Hope everybody's feeling good today. Today is such a beautiful day. Today is Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking a little dusty, a little crusty. Might be a little musty, you know, but we got work to do. So sometimes I ain't get time to take a shower. Sorry, I had to get right to it. After dropping Ablo off, you got to understand, like, time is not on your side, man. My son's daycare is all the way on the other side of town. Then I got to drive all the way back over here to my office. So I was either spend the money on gas or time. So this time I picked gas. You know, next time I might pick time. But I want to pick somebody. When you're picking a child care, if you guys are going through that process of picking child care, I don't know who would be watching my stream and going through that. I don't know who can do that. But what I can say is that it's just, I can help you. I made a whole little flow chart, cost, distance, time, philosophy, ratio, million, whatever you're working on, I can help you find that when you hit that chapter of your life. Because trust me, when I say picking a child care is like picking a good apartment. It's never perfect, but you can always get as close as possible to it based off of your patience levels, like most things in life. But child care is different because, you know, your kid can't really talk to say what they do or dislike at that age. So you kind of have to make all the decisions for them. Literally, that was perfect. What a nice little day. It was a cool little day. Hopefully everybody's feeling good today on this beautiful Wednesday morning. We're going to be talking about a couple things today. I think if you guys saw it in the notes, I want to make sure I go everything one at a time. We're going to dog walk this. We're going to talk about, first of all, happy November 5th or 6th, whatever it is. What is it? Let me look at my phone. November 6th. It's the day after election, you know. Donnie done did it again. Odds were stacked against him again, and then he completed again, per usual. I got to tell you guys about how I voted, and not necessarily who I voted for, but how I went about it. And it was a very poor approach. But listen, sometimes you got to call people who are smarter than you to help you find the answers that you need. But before we get started with that, I want to cover a couple things. As you guys very well know, it's giveaway season, and in giveaway season is something that you want. Be sure to throw it in the what do you call it? Let me go to chat. Throw it in the chat bot. Throw it in. You can throw it in the chat. You can go ahead. You can throw it in. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab it. Yeah, bro. Making this a habit. Doing it for the 3 people who be paying attention. We're going to get the stream all dialed in later on. I know you guys are probably lagging. I can tell on my end is lagging, so I know on your end is pretty bad. But here's a couple of things that we're going to be doing. There's a couple to give away. Item number 1, it's the red members only kind of a coaching jacket. It's a cone piece. It was a collection I thought I wanted to do. I ended up getting a bunch of these jackets from a trade I did with somebody. Ended up putting my logo on them. Sold a couple of them. Some of them I did, some of them I didn't. So my loss is your win. So if you want this, be sure to shoot this in my DM free of charge. However, if you're you have to pay for shipping. Number 2, we have also another yellow like track jacket kind of thing. You kind of can see the cone aesthetic. Another jacket I picked up at the thrift store. I thought this was pretty cool. Rebrand. And last but not least, we have another jacket. It's the 3rd one of the collection. Remember, everything is free of charge. But if you're in Bakersfield, there will be a $5 gas fee. If you want to throw a little extra on the donations, trust me. Donations. I'm looking like Dr. Umar in this motherfucker. But, yeah, feel free. This is all you. Shoot me a DM. And I will be checking my DMs throughout the stream. So whoever the first person is, obviously, first come, first serve. But, yeah, those are the 3 we're going to be giving away. I'm going to go ahead and put them on my story after the stream. So if you're seeing it now, guess what? I'm going to put it on the stream. I'm going to put it on my story, and you're going to be like, damn, I'm really caught. I'm ahead. So that's the benefit. That's the benefit to watching me live, even through all this bitrate issues that I know we're having, because I'm looking at my kilobytes, and it's looking like dog shit. So we'll get that fixed later on. But hopefully, how's everybody officially hump day? It's the part of the week where we're not quite at the weekend, but we're a little bit past the beginning. Things may get a little, a little choppy right now. This is the day where those who work normal jobs, all of a sudden productivity is picked up to 10, We all know that in a work schedule, if you ever worked a traditional office, I'm going to tell you, Monday is the most inefficient day. That's when everyone's talking about, how's the weekend? Tuesday is when everybody's talking about their plans for the weekend. Wednesday is when is the official work day of the week, which is another reason why I am a strong supporter of work from home. Because guess what? Most of the time in the office, people aren't even really being efficient with their time, So for you talk about quiet quitting really started in the office, if you ask me. And I think what happens is as we started the work from home programs, at least people had a better appreciation for their job. So as we go on to Thursday, remember I was on Wednesday, now we're going on to Thursday, that's when all of a sudden it's the weekend. Whatever you didn't finish on Wednesday, you got done Thursday, and Friday is practically dog water. Ain't nobody doing nothing on Friday, not unless you own the business or you're in marketing or media. But because guess what? Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when all the photographers and videographers, that's when our work week starts. Everybody else's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is traditional admin, HR, things in that department. You guys start on Monday. Media, all that, we start Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we can't wait until Monday because Monday, Tuesday is our true Saturday. That's how we live. That's how we give it up. So, so shouts out to everybody out there in the office. If you are watching me from office, if you're watching me from a classroom, watching me from a phone, I appreciate you. And in the words of JBP, shouts out to all my first time and, more importantly, my last time listeners. There's a couple of things I want to cover. I want to start off with, we got to talk off with Brother Donnie. Donnie done did it again. When he was coming up, like, mind you, I want to let you guys paint a picture quick. I knew Donald Trump was going to win the election probably around 2:00 p.m. yesterday. And at that time, I was out there. I was at a furniture store looking up some couches and shit like that. And the dynamic of what was going on with the country based off of one conversation I had with one of the salesmen there. And it was a black guy. Now, he bald head, and also he had a beard. I mean, no beard. He was all shaved. And to be honest with you guys, I've always had trust issues with black men with zero facial hair. Like a mustache, cool goatee, soul patch, something, But when it's all bare, I'm always like, uh-oh. And then when you double it up, like, without the head, like the shiny head, I'm like, you really stand tall on your, I would say, gentrification in the white culture. I'm not saying everybody, don't hate me, but I just realized there's a pattern of the black men who do the completely clean shaved look. So anyways, he comes up to me and he starts talking. He's like, hey, go vote. And I'm like, I haven't. I wasn't planning on it. He said, man, it's important that you go vote. Now, mind you, this is a black man conversation. I'm thinking, all right, he's going to be like, brother, your ancestors done yada, yada, yada. This man took a turn for the fucking hills. He said, we can't have a woman in office. We can't do that. We cannot. This is just, they want to keep tearing down our guy, Trump. Now, mind you, as you guys know, if you've been watching me, I do have more conservative views than liberal views. I'm going to leave that there. I'm not saying I voted for Kamala. I'm just saying I do have more conservative views. He said that they have tried to take our man down, and this is enough. We have to put our foot down. We need to go show. If you don't show up, they're going to create fake votes, and they're going to steal your name in another state. I said, oh, whoa, what the fuck? Like, yo, my man, this shit escalated quickly. How do you not know my views? And I'm sitting here thinking, I got locks with a septum. I'm thinking niggas is already going to be like, oh, he's a fucking hippie. I was like, I don't know if he was trying to start a fade. I can't see that. But nonetheless, it was a very interesting conversation for two men to be having in front of the Furniture City at almost 2 or maybe around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the voting poll day or the poll day. So after I saw that, I said, wow, black men are really in favor of Trump. Maybe Trump represents something. I don't know. And I said right then and there, I'm not saying that black people have enough voting power in order to like sway an election. But what I can say is that was the first time I've seen people openly fire up conversations about that strong about it, So the moment I had that conversation with that brother, I don't even remember his name. I'm sure he's a great guy. What ended up happening is later on in that conversation, I said, don't buy anything off of him. He's a scam, whatever it may be. Comes to find out, there's another guy who's in the store they got fired. Irrelevant to the story. Whatever. That was for me. But I knew right there at 3 o'clock that I said, oh, it's cooked. It's cooked. Like, Trump got this. Trump got this in the bag. He been got this. He been had this in the bag since he got shot. But now I'm really starting to see, because once there's certain conversations or tones being said, you can tell who's going to win the election, So, yeah, so shouts out to both people. Shouts out to everybody that voted. I really do appreciate those who got out there and vote. My mom fucking tore me a new asshole when I told her I didn't want to vote. So that I didn't realize how important voting could be. I guess you could say it's a right or a privilege, no matter how you look at it. But, I got up off my ass, and around 7:45, I went in to vote in all hopes that a poll would be closed. And I'll tell my mom, hey, I don't want to vote. I tried, but I couldn't. But they actually stayed open for me. So shouts out to the people at the polling place who actually stayed open for me to turn in my ballot when the president was already elected. Yeah. I just thought I thought that was a really interesting dynamic. Was there anything that stood out to you guys this election that was different than any other? Yeah, I think Donald Trump drives a level of interest to the country that I don't think that no other president has been able to do. Other than I can say Obama. Obama drove some interest, that's for sure. But it was such an optimistic type of an optimistic type of energy. I think with Trump, I think he creates polarity. It's kind of like, I always wonder what would it be like if Ye won, If Ye were to win, I think we got the closest to it with Donald. But yeah, all in all, I'm happy to everybody who vote. Shouts out to all the people at Furniture City who helped me out. I really do appreciate that. I love y'all. Hopefully we'll be doing content over there. So I also found it be kind of interesting is that, the marriage between America and their politics is a relationship that I don't think a lot of other countries understand. I think that we are so heavy but I think we care so much but know so little about politics. I think that's so interesting that all the other ballots and the names on the ballot, I don't think anybody knew. I don't think anybody even really understood. Hopefully those who out there who's spoken on behalf, lost y'all for a second. Hold on. the bills, all the other props. Hopefully you guys are reading those. Hopefully your first time reading it wasn't in the polling place. I thought that was kind of interesting. If it was your first time reading it there, hopefully you made a decision that you now have to live with the next 4 years. Can you imagine that? Making a decision that grotesque? Is that the word? Hold on. We're going to go back. We're going to check that. Is grotesque the word? I need somebody. This is why I need grotesque. Repulsively ugly. Okay. Yeah, imagine, almost, that wasn't the word, but imagine making a decision that dire in your life where it's going to affect you for the next 4 years. Like, man, this is going to be really interesting. So luckily, on a lot of the props, I didn't really have any strong views, anything. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to cheat a little bit and tell you a little secret. I just picked president, and then I picked the names, the names I know, like Vince Vaughn and things like that. I picked it once. I don't know what that means. Hopefully I made the right decision. I don't know. And then I just skipped the rest. And then I just hit submit. So I don't know. I kind of believe in the incomplete test. I think that's a good strategy to have. If you don't know anything, just hit that one. The one thing that I did strongly remember and having an emotional tie to was the raising of minimum wage. Listen to me and listen to me clearly, everyone. When minimum wage goes up, the rates of everything else also goes up. So to my millennials that think, if all of a sudden I'm going to start getting more money if I do decide to want to raise the minimum wage. Let me tell you from the perspective of the child of a business owner, the minimum wage going up will affect all cost prices, all living expenses, all transportation expenses. Every expense that goes into your life will go up if minimum wage goes up. So as much as you think you're doing a good thing and how you're going to change your livelihood off the $1, $2, $3 for an hour on your paycheck, understand if that goes up, if the bottom goes up, the rest goes up even faster. So before you guys take the time to be like, oh, I go in and vote, I make sure I clicked for, I checked out for the raising of minimum wage. Understand the entire ecosystem, understand the economy when that happens, because it can get ugly quickly if you don't know what you're clicking and how you're clicking and how you're going about it. The right, I think another hot topic that everyone's obviously talking about was abortion. As you guys very well know, I'm always for letting women do whatever the fuck they want to do with their body. It's their body, because if women started asking me about how I gotta manage my nuts, I would have something to say about that, and I think that's disrespectful. So guess what? Let the women do what they want. If they want to throw the baby away, let that nigga throw the baby away. That's on her. It is what it is. I think Dave Chappelle had the greatest comeback on abortion. He said if she has the right to decide, she should have the right to decide on if the baby should live or not. I should have the right to decide of how much of my money I give. So if she has the right on that, I should have the right on the money. Now, I thought that was a very comedic approach at it. There's parts of it I agree, disagree maybe. If I sat down and really evaluated it, I can find a happy medium. But I'm Mohammed Cook, am a strong believer in let that woman throw her baby away. If she want to do it, it is on her. It's her decision. It's her coochie. Let her rock out. It is what it is. Because guess what, bro? If she want to throw her coochie away, you got to go, if she want to throw the baby away, nigga, you just got to find another coochie. That's it. It's just that simple. And do better in life. I don't know. I don't know. That's all I really got on that. But yeah, hopefully everybody may put a little thought into what they clicked on and how they clicked it and what they went about it. I want to know. I wish I had more people in the chat to tell me the people who didn't vote and why they didn't. I think I've started to realize amongst millennials, we really just didn't know what to do. This was the first time. We've been the generation of being so outspoken and having our opinion and having our mind and things like that. But when it came to the elections, all of a sudden we are quiet, just little snowflakes who don't know how to go about life. But in every other facet of life, we are so opinionated. Oh, we deserve more in the workplace. Or we need to know the why of projects. We need to understand the feeling, the ethos of everything we're doing. All right, cool. That's nice, millennials. Who are you voting for? Oh, I don't know. See what I'm saying? See the issue with that? I'm always about consistency. So if you're going to be consistent in letting the government pick your next steps, you have to be consistent if you're going to be consistent in letting the government make decisions, making sure you pick the right things you want, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It's something that I think that millennials and Gen Zs are having a hard time. I think the silent generation, Alpha, Y, whatever I think they are very strongly opinionated. It could just be due to their age and maturity. I don't know, but I do realize there is a strong tear between Gen Z and millennials and the Gen Alpha because they just don't know how to make any real political decisions. That's really the truth of it all. Shouts out to my homie Lota, who was willing to actually have conversations with people for his appreciation for Trump. He said, I'm not going to argue with anybody online, but I'm willing to have a conversation. So if you're up and you want to have a phone call, I'm open for it. I think that is the most comprehensive way to solve most of the world's problems. And I do think he has the verbal skills and capabilities and entertainment element to have an honest conversation. So shouts out to you, Lo, if you're watching this, if you ever do see this. I do appreciate your approach. I do appreciate you putting your views out there, and I do appreciate you trying to find solutions. So, to those who do know, it's important that you pass some gems down to those who aren't ignorant. And for those who don't know, I think that also you should not be making as many decisions, maybe, just maybe. I've seen some of y'all's baby daddy. I don't think y'all should be picking the president, but that's here nor there. What else is going on, man? Speaking of, I'm just going through my notes and everything. I got a polar topic on here. I think also when we start talking about millennials, we really got to evaluate some of the things that we've witnessed within our life. I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention to the world, but you realize that millennials have seen a lot of traumatic situations in life, right? Or moments in history, right? So forget the school shootings that are almost now common. Let's just bypass that like it's a stop sign, right? Let's move on over to, let's go back a little bit in time. We did COVID, right? Which was one of the craziest moments in history because guess what? No one really knew what was going on, and nor did we have anything to compare it to. So we had an election, COVID, and on top of that, at the same time, we also had to deal with raising of rents and all this. Millennials have the most expensive time to live ever in existence. So millennials can't really own homes in the most organic. Yes, you can work hard. Yes, I get that. I do that. I understand. That's what I live by. I get it. But homes have never been this expensive. The gap between home ownership and wages has never been this far. Secondly, we had a pandemic. Thirdly, if we want to take it back to 02, 01, don't quote me, we're the first, 9/11. Crazy. We also have more school shootings. There's so many things that have happened within our lifetime that I think we've almost fallen numb to them. And it makes me wonder, what's going to be the long-term effects of this in the future, in another 10, 20 years from now? Because we are the generation that had so much opportunity. We were first exposed to the internet. We also have seen so much hope. We got to see, representation like never before, whether you're for or against it. We got to see gay niggas running shit. We got to see black people running shit. We got to see shit, everything, really. That's crazy. That's crazy. And when I say that, I'm not saying it's crazy in the bad. I'm saying it's crazy because we have more representation, but yet we have the most complaints and have the least understanding of government, but yet have seen the most trauma through the things that we have gone through. I'm actually going to pull some things up real quick. I'm going to hop on chat real quick. Internet, ChatGPT. Shouts out to those who know what ChatGPT is. How should I prompt this? The most traumatic situations, casualties. I don't say casualties. Historic moments for within the millennial lifetime. Within the millennial lifetime. There we go. I don't know. I'm hoping something will pop up. Oh, also, oh my God. See, so here's this. We also had the Great Recession, the 09, 08, 09 house, the house crisis, right? We got to see some of our friends, whether we knew it verbally or we saw it directly, but we watched some friends lose houses. We also had Katrina. We had the rise of the internet on the more, like I said, on more of the, on the positive. On the positive, we also, social media, we got to watch some things. On top of that, we got to see cryptocurrency. Like, that's what I'm saying. As millennials, we've had more opportunity to be successful, but yet we got hit with the most shit at the same time. And it makes me wonder, like I said before, what's the next 10, 20 years going to look like? For real. Because at this point, I don't really know if we're moving in the right or wrong direction. Now, my hot take is I think millennials are obsessed with titles. Outside of romantic titles, we be kind of fluid with that. That's why we be on social media arguing about little shit like who should pay and who should sit in the front seat, because we don't really understand the roles and the titles. And I'm guilty of this. I'm not speaking above. I want to make sure that's clear. But I think we're so obsessed with titles, or giving things titles and making things a thing. I think that sometimes in the process we kind of lose our foundation of what makes us human beings. You know, it's like I saw online. I'm not going to say the page I saw it on because I'm not necessarily proud of this, right? You know, I'm going to skip it. Nah, I'm going to skip it, because every time I have a conversation about romantic, there's always some shit. I'm getting a call from one of my homies saying I crashed out and I didn't, but whatever. But yeah, I like I said, I wanted to have a conversation called Title Wars about the difference between like wife, girlfriend, side chick, hoe. You know, how that all kinds of falls into place, and how I do think how that corresponds to us being also obsessed with titles, with president, vice president, but then right after that, we don't understand anything else. But we understand it so cohesively in the relationship space, but when it comes to political space, we don't understand anything. So, you know, I'll have that conversation when I got a little bit more knowledge on it. But coming back to what I was talking about before, it's just we've just seen so much. Millennials have gone through so much. I think that every millennial deserves to get free therapy just for being alive, because we don't know where we're going. We try to always get there, but some of us, and we're split because some of us are like trailblazers and trying to have honest conversations and bust through, and other half of us are scared to break the mold, and we are scared. So yeah, it's a really interesting time that we're living in, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know if we're moving in the right or wrong direction. I'm hoping it's in the right direction, but there's nothing to really say if it is. Quick note. Do you guys think, hear me out, let me tell you a story. So one of my good friends he is getting married, right? And he called me and he was checking up. He's like, hey, Mo, how you doing? I'm doing great, bro. I'm getting married. Oh my God, that's beautiful. What has led, like, are you sure? I always ask niggas, like, you sure? Like, ain't nobody else, like, I always ask my niggas when they say about to get married, they propose. I'm like, you always say, who's around you? Like, is this something you really want to do, my nigga? Like, I gotta FaceTime you, because sometimes you just gotta have a man-to-man conversation with people, and that's something that I do. And I'm like, yo, what makes you want to do this? And he was like, and he gave me a list of reasons. It's his business, whatever. And I asked him, I was like, yo, so have you planned out like how the wedding is going to go, or have you planned who you're going to invite to the wedding? And I noticed as he was going through our friends, I realized there's a couple names, like you can go by, like, oh, Aaron, I'm using fake names. Aaron, Justin, Omar, you know, Selena, Cassandra, Donnie, whatever. But me being his nigga of over a decade, I was like, yo, my man, you realize you invited old work to your wedding. He was like, well, yeah, man, but it was years ago. It's like it only happened a couple times. You know why? We're still friends. And it made me raise the question, like, is it okay or is it not okay to invite old work to your wedding? Now, this is my thought process on this. Why is it okay? You're letting any old work know, hey, this is where I am. This is where I stand. This is what I want to do. And I even want you old bitches out there to know this is who I'm rocking with. I think that's a very noble position to have. The other side of it is, do you want to have that uncomfortable with your new spouse? So in my mind, I'm talking to this nigga like, yo, I know you've known her and y'all could have been friends and however, high school, middle school, college, whatever the fuck it may be, y'all could have done that, evolved into a very platonic friendship. But do you honestly think that is a good idea? I told him, I said, yo, let's slow the play down a little bit. What potentially could be the good that comes from you telling your friends and family, and her being one of the friends, what can be the good of her catching that moment? Honestly. So she can see the other girl. Do you really know where she stands with you romantically? Like, you know what she said, right? Like, that's the obvious. Oh, yeah, we're friends, yada, yada. Was that like a friends where we just gonna chill for a little bit? Or is it like a friends and I'm gonna wait for you to fuck up type of thing? So I don't know. I was really torn. We had a conversation. We went back and forth for a while. And I was torn, honestly, because I did not know where the right answer is. Because it's the equivalence of, it's the highest form of showcasing your spouse and your life partner. But in the same breath, it's kind of like, you know, you don't want to, you just don't want to start mixing. I feel like those are the two wrong scenes to mix. So I don't know. I wanted to raise that question to everybody to be like, would you invite old work, or how many rounds? I was like, okay, was it a one night type thing, or was it like a one time we've been friends kind of thing? Like, what is the true? Excuse me, Jesus. What is the true protocol about that situation, or do you just bring all the homies? That's how I think the smartest way to go about it. I think that everybody should just bring all their homies and call it a day. I don't think you should try to murky up the waters with any I objects, because those I objects will be loud and heard across all the halls. I think that especially if you're an immigrant, I think immigrant cultures and expectations, I don't think you should bring any of your old work. I'm really families and black families. I'm very curious to know, do you know anybody that has had old work at their wedding, their old boo, an old crush, somebody they were once physically or emotionally intimate with? Do you know anyone that has done that? And if you did, can you please send them just Instagram, or give me their Instagram, because I'm really curious to know how they navigate this conversation, because I want to call my homie back with a better rebuttal, but I don't have any information to prove it's a bad idea. All I just have, my gut is telling me it's a bad idea, and that should be enough, but I want just a little bit more evidence on what happened and why it was wrong. So anyways, that was really all I wanted to just cover with you guys today. I just wanted to just cover titles. I wanted to cover, Trump getting in office. I wanted to cover overall the millennial experience and how it's dwindling, how we don't have 401ks. We have to all build everything ourselves. We have to get our land, build our own foundation, put our walls up, and build our own house, because all of our generations before us have spent all the money and claims it's because they worked so damn hard. And we know, and I know, that they didn't. They just happened to be where a wage gap where the living was way cheaper. So, or am I just being selfish? Because I might be saying the same thing 20 years from now when Ablo's growing up, Ablo and Arlo growing up. They might be saying the same thing. I don't know. But anyways, that's all I really have for you guys today. A quick little 30-minute banger. Get on camera, get on stream real quick to get my thoughts out of my head. Hopefully you guys have a great Wednesday. I'm hoping the next show would be rather sooner than later. I want to make this a daily thing, but right now I'm starting off fair. Is doing 3 times a week, 30 minutes. And then with time, we'll make this like a whole ordeal thing. Once I start putting some marketing dollars behind it, start clipping it appropriately, and just make it an overall morning show, a morning-esque show. Anyways, all I really got for you guys today. You guys stay happy, you stay optimistic, and I'll see you back again rather sooner than later, probably 48 hours. No more than 48 hours, but no less than 3 hours or whatever. No more than 48 hours. I'll catch y'all. I love